Alright, hello guys, how's it going? Again, we're going to be talking about a snowstorm for Wednesday, October 24th here coming up, mostly for Maine and New Hampshire, but a lot of other areas are going to be included in the storm itself, so we're going to get into that. But before I do get started with the video, I would ask that you would subscribe if you do like content like this. Also, make sure to like the video if you do like this video, that way I know what kind of content you guys want me to make. Anyway, let's get right into it. Looking at the upper air again, this is 300 HPA wind, so this is really high up there, and this is kind of how we can see the jet stream and everything that's going on. This is really important because this is going to kind of contribute to where the actual storm track is going to be. So we're comparing the European model and the GFS model here. And looking at the Euro right now, we see that this trough is pretty far deep down there. You'll notice that it enters Michigan, goes through Ohio, West Virginia, then Northern Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Southern Jersey, and then kind of goes up the coast until it hits Canada up there. Now, we're going to take a look at the GFS now, and you'll see it's a little bit more flat, and you can see it goes through northern Michigan, but mostly Pennsylvania, and then kind of central Jersey, and then goes up the coast. So that's really going to play into where this storm track's going to be. So we're going to look at the precipitation type here on the ECMWF, the European model, and I'm going to go frame by frame and look at it. So starting off right off the bat, we can see the White Mountains are getting in and some of that snow. Moving on, and you see Maine is just being taken over by heavy snow here, moderate to heavy snow, and that's going to continue to make its way further north into Maine, but it's going to kind of sit over the area for quite a few hours. So that's Wednesday morning, and we're heading into later in the day Wednesday, and you can see it's still in northern Maine through later in the day, and I mean that's moderate snow, so we're really going to see accumulating snow if this does play out this way. And it continues, and then there's some light snow showers, mixed snow showers. And now we're going to move on to the GFS, again starting Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, late Tuesday night. And we see starting out a little bit different. We have the storm kind of further north, and we're kind of getting rain right off the bat, which is going to cut some of those accumulations. But we have snow showers up there in northern Maine, and you see really this is kind of a back-end storm according to the GFS, and what I mean by that is it kind of tilts around and spins around, and then we kind of get snow last minute later in the day Wednesday. It does really dip down, and we really do get some of that heavier snow there for way further north in Maine than the European model was showing, but you see it lingers for quite a while heading into Wednesday night, Thursday morning kind of, and we're still getting that snow there. And then finally those snow showers move out by the time it's mid-morning Thursday. Now we're going to take a look at the snowfall accumulation forecast according to a lot of models here. First off, looking at the GEM, the Canadian model, this one isn't to be too trusted, but we want to just show the fact that it is showing snow here. We see upwards of 4 inches on this one there for that central extreme eastern Maine there. So that position's a little bit different than some of the other models are showing. Very interesting. Here's the Europeans forecast, and you can see this one is just insane. Getting in some of that, 10 inches plus there in those pinks. So the bullseye, according to the European, would be getting, close to a foot of snow here. And this one wants to put it in central Maine. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. The FV3 GFS, and this is a test model, so we're going to take this with a grain of salt. But again, this wants to show that bullseye being right around 12 inches, maybe more. This one likes to overdo things a little bit, but we are seeing those high snowfall totals, and you see the positioning is a little bit further north than that last model I just showed you. Now, looking at the normal GFS, you see that bullseye still shows 10 inches plus, just a lot further north. Nevertheless, a lot of areas in Maine getting some snow at least, so we're going to keep a very close eye on that. Icon, this one is one of the only models to really show the snow stay out of the United States for the most part. A few, right on that Canadian-Maine border, a few areas getting 4 inches plus, but besides that, I mean, just small accumulations here according to this model. And then we have our NAM here showing 4 inches plus. So you can kind of catch the trend that there's a few models showing 4 inches is the bullseye, maybe 6 inches, and then there's a few that are showing the upwards of up to 12 inches and things like that. So we're really going to need to keep an eye on that because it could go either way. This could either be very major or this could be, just a normal snow event, 4 to 6 inches in the bullseye, which wouldn't be as big of a deal, but it's still kind of a big deal, and I would obviously still forecast it. So looking at our weather type graphic here that I've made, you see our lighter rain is going to stay down there in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Cape Cod, and portions of New York and Pennsylvania, but we really get heavy rain throughout most of the New England area, upstate New York, and northern Pennsylvania area. But that mixed line is basically from the Tug Hill east, moving into the Green Mountains. So Green Mountains north, you're looking at some mixing in there. You know, rain might try to mix in throughout the day, but we have some snow just north of you. And then in that river valley in between New Hampshire and Vermont, we're going to have a little bit of mixing issues going further north up there just because of the lower elevations and everything. And then the White Mountains north, also going to be looking at that snow north of you, mixing issues south of you. And then that mixing issue goes through Maine and kind of touching the coast there on the very, very northern tip there, but moderate snow for most of the northern half of Maine. So let's get into my snowfall forecast here. We're looking at the Tug Hill getting a dusting to 3 inches. I really think it'll be on the lower end of that there, as well as the Green Mountains getting similar conditions there. Northern Vermont, though, you could get just over 3 inches, I think, but it might stay right around 2 inches. But I wanted to put that there just so you know that it could be 2 to 3 inches right there in that blue dot. Moving on to New Hampshire, though, we have a good chance at 3 to 6 inches there on the White Mountains north. And then that moves through Maine, and you can see there is a good chance for dusting in most of southern Maine. And then we see that 6-inch plus 6 to 10 area there for northern Maine. And that might even, if this, the models start to trend more and more towards the heavier snow, I might even need to add the 10 to 15-inch graphic there for where I think the bullseye is going to be. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one. This forecast will end up being updated. We are 2 days away, but I will end up having a forecast probably out the day of or the day before, just because that's when we'll be using short-range models and a few things are likely to change in between that time frame. So probably tomorrow is when we're going to start using the RGEM and the NAM a lot more. So a lot of updates on that. I also wanted to mention that I think I'm doing a live stream tonight for the 12 or the 0Z model run that's coming out, and that's going to be a discussion where we watch the model run come out for this storm, and we're going to talk about it as it's coming out. So that should be really exciting. That should be starting right around 9:30 or 10. So if you're up around that hour, make sure to check my channel out and see if I'm streaming or not, because we will be doing that. So that should be really fun. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great night, and I hope you guys are staying safe. See you guys.